morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you all to share this fun breakfast as part of our Gibraltar Day celebrations. A day when, 2 days in fact, when we celebrate the relationship, the links, the very strong and enduring links that Gibraltar enjoys with the City of London. The Chief Minister during yesterday's lunch outlined some of the features that have led to that very strong relationship, and today with our fund sector we celebrate that also. I think it's fair to say that Gibraltar, if I can do it by way of sort of the school report from last year, continues to grow strongly. Our performance punches well above our weight, and even since the Chief Minister presented Theresa May 2 weeks ago with a Gibraltar football shirt, our team is unbeaten. So things are looking up, going well, and a far cry from where we were in June of 2016. And our expectations and our concerns were magnified by the decision of the UK people. And what we did was get on with the job of trying to understand what it was that was important to us, what it was that was important to our financial services community, what we could do to provide some form of certainty and security to the business of Gibraltar looking to go forward. And so we set out this roadmap of a seeking to have post-Brexit access to the UK markets in financial services, continued relationships and cooperation in gaming are two major flows of financial services. And in 2018, those two have been secured. So the assurance that Gibraltar firms will continue to have access into the UK, whatever happens with Brexit, is important and provides you with the certainty that you need to be able to continue to do your business. But of course, it's not only that we managed to do these past 12 months. As many of you know, our work in the DLT, in the blockchain space, has been going for some years. We started that work 4 years ago, and it has led to the issue in last October of legislation culminating after 3 different consultation reports with you, the private sector, to the DLT legal framework. That framework enabled, with effect from the 1st of January, firms wishing to obtain a DLT license from making applications to the Financial Services Commission. And I'm pleased to say that we have some 38 firms that have made the application, many of whom are in the process, 2 of whom have now received their full licenses, the first in the world in terms of DLT blockchain licenses, with another 5 in principle about to come through shortly, with the next wave of in-principle licenses coming through, and with the next wave of new applications coming to our regulator. So indeed, exciting times in how all of that blockchain work is ongoing. And of course, shortly, and by shortly I mean within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we expect to publish our token bill, which will be Gibraltar's proposed regulatory approach to token issue. The issue of token sales is one that has troubled many. 2017 saw a remarkable boom in the issue of tokens, many of which were done in a way that we would not like to be done. And therefore, our view is it needs to be regulated. And so the approach that we have taken, and the approach that we will see in the legislation that comes out shortly, will be to ensure that any company issuing tokens from Gibraltar will comply with a set of standards which you will all be familiar with in the financial services space, which will control the elements of disclosure, transparency, corporate governance, all the basic issues that you will be familiar with and expect to see the person seeking to have your money invested in it to do, and to do it properly. And so the authorised sponsor regime, which will come hand in hand with the token regulations, will require professionals to sign off and confirm to the regulator that that issuer is indeed compliant with its obligations. There will also be an independent audit of the technology that's going to be used to ensure that it has a reasonable prospect. Our intention is not to guarantee the success of the token issuer, of course not. But if a token issuer fails, let it fail for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons. That bill will also deal with the secondary token issue in the secondary market, which will follow shortly after that. And it has been worked on for quite some time. I have to tell you that this legislation was meant to be published some months ago. And the initial drafts, which we exchanged details of with the private sector, led to some concerns, and some more detailed work went into it. And as a result of that work, I believe we have an even better piece of legislation that will be coming before Parliament in the next month and a half. So my thanks to all the professionals, some of whom are here today, who have been involved in that process to help us get the product right, to help us have the most innovative and safe method of proceeding with token issuers, which I think you will like the look of when it comes out. As I always say in respect of our blockchain legislation, we don't believe what we do is perfect. We're always having to learn. We're always watching what other jurisdictions are doing in the space to ensure that what we have and the work that we do is always ahead of the curve. And that means that one consequence, many of you will know who are familiar with the blockchain legislation, we've always talked about the 9 core principles. Well, we will soon have 10 core principles, because there is one that our regulators have identified which they would like to cover off, and so we shall shortly be introducing that also. We believe in safe business. We believe in regulated business. We believe in preserving the reputation of our jurisdiction to ensure that all the operators that work with us are working with us as our stakeholders and care as much about our reputation as they care about theirs. And therefore, we don't apologize for not being a light touch. We don't apologize for not providing a high bar, high entrance bar to those firms that want to work with us. It's something that we believe you share with us and you will enjoy the benefits of with us as we proceed to lay out our thoughts and our vision for the blockchain space. Talking about funds, where are we on crypto funds? Well, I think only last week, our regulator, the Financial Services Commission, issued a policy paper on crypto funds. The truth is that our thinking on crypto funds is that it is work in progress. And so the ability of Gibraltar to use EIFs, of course, is there. But in terms of what the government and the regulator do on a public policy basis of funds moving forward, investing in crypto or in tokens or in digital assets is something that is very much work in progress. But of course, we will do that with GIFIA, your association in Gibraltar, with whom we have an excellent relationship, and we will evolve and develop that thinking over time. But of course, that does not prevent business from being done today. Again, on funds, I want to acknowledge and thank GIFIA for their work with us these past months, more months than I would like to admit, but it's been quite a time to have led us to complete the changes that we made to our funds legislation. Yesterday morning, we published the changes to the EIF regulations, which I think will make the product more user-friendly and better, but also safer. These regulations, which I signed last week, which came into effect yesterday, will deal with some of the issues around the areas of having to have 2 ordinary resident directors. That's been dealt with in a manner which I think is sensible, as well as a number of other changes which will, I believe, make our fund product even more competitive than I believe it already is. And so my thanks to the regulator, my thanks to GIFIA for the work that we have done together in bringing that forward. When I talk about our vision and our perspective for the future, I think that it's important to recall that our economy these past 20 years, 2008, 2016, 2 critical years, the world crash and Brexit, has actually carried on going pretty strongly despite all the challenges that we have faced. Our annual results produce a surplus every year for the last 20 years, despite the challenges that we faced. It is a small and versatile economy. Unemployment, as the Chief Minister mentioned yesterday, is at 45. The people around this table will probably be able to give the names of them. So it's something that is remarkably resilient, and the economy has proven itself to be strong, diversified and effective. But the secret of that economy is not that the government is particularly brilliant, although we will take the credit for everything we possibly can. But really it's a relationship that we enjoy with you, the private sector. The partnership which we have between the government, the regulator and the private sector. Sitting around a table, working through issues, working through problems, making sure that we can deliver to you a framework that is user-friendly but safe. And that legal and regulatory framework is what we spent an awful lot of time doing. And as we move towards the end of our legal reform program, which we hope to close by the end of this year, we will have succeeded in consolidating and merging and modernizing 87 different pieces of legislation into one, the new Financial Services Act, which will capture all aspects of financial services, and again, which is being worked on together with the private sector, together with the regulator, and together with our drafters. And that will be an achievement in itself, and it's one that will lead, I believe, to a more simplified approach, not just for the regulator, but for you as practitioners, to better understand and see directly how the legislation relates to each of the different areas of financial services that we seek to regulate. I also have to record my thanks and appreciation to the Finance Centre Council. Some of the feedback to the consultation documents that we've issued on the legal reform programme has been excellent. It has led to significant change to the draft legislation that we proposed. And that is the purpose of doing this. The purpose of doing this is for us to be able to draw on the expertise and the knowledge that you all have in order to ensure that Gibraltar ends up with a better result. And I'm very grateful to the Council for that support. JIFIA, I have also thanked, and James and his team on the Executive Committee are always there to lend their support, to lend their advice, and to give their counsel. And that, really sitting in my position in these difficult and challenging times, is something that really is very welcome and very much appreciated. So I leave you with a small message. A message that Gibraltar is open for business. We are extremely excited about the work we're doing in the blockchain space. We are extremely excited about the new innovations that will be coming through shortly. We will shortly be announcing the launch of a new association, GANT, a New Technologies Association. We've announced last week a relationship with the University of Gibraltar, an initiative between the government and the university where we will begin to provide learning and teaching through the university in the blockchain space, in all aspects of blockchain, whether it's smart contracts, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's in blockchain itself. Again, working hand in hand with those firms that are coming to Gibraltar. Just imagine the power of having some of the leading blockchain firms come to Gibraltar and as part of that journey, joining us in providing their expertise through the University of Gibraltar. And they're all agreeing to support us. Some of them are here today. So my thanks to you also for joining us in developing the Centre of Excellence and the ecosystem that we are very keen on developing in Gibraltar to service the blockchain community. So with that message of partnership, I invite you all to join us, to communicate with us, to engage with us, and to tell us how better we can do things, because for that our door is always open. Enjoy the breakfast and thank you for joining us.